Hi guys, welcome to another episode of our tutorials by Levonotion Animation Studios. This is Super Sam once again, and in this very video I'm going to show you how you can change your animation frame rate without changing speed. So let's get started. So guys, I have this simple scene here, and as you can see, I have my frame rate to be 24 frames per second. So I'm going to animate my cube, setting a keyframe on that position, and I want to go to frame 24 and set another keyframe. I can make this -5, set another keyframe. So I want the cube to move from position 1 to position -5 in 1 second, 24 frames. Okay, so this way you can see what my animation looks like. Now, what if I want to change the frame rate of this animation? By the way, the best thing to do before you set your first keyframe is to make sure your frame rate is exactly what you want it to be. So if you want to animate in 60 frames per second, it's advisable to start on that frame rate before setting your first keyframe. But sometimes you animating a certain frame rate and then you want to change that frame rate later on. There are several reasons why this could happen. So I just want to show you what to do when such happens. So in this case, I already have my animation set and laid out in 24 frames. And if I wish to change this animation to 60 frames, I can easily do so by just changing these to 60 frames. But as soon as I did this and I play my animation, watch what happens. It goes faster. Now this is changing the speed of my animation and I don't want this. So to fix this, I need to go to my time stretch and define the old as the previous frame rate, which is 24, and state the new as the new frame rate, which is 60. So now when I hit on the play button, you can see my animation plays, but not fully. So this is because I have more frames in between and I need to accommodate for that in my time range. So I just need to increase this and let's see. You see this marker here? This is where your current time frame is. And that should fall on 60 if we are correct. Yeah, now so on the 60th frame, you can see we have the final animation here. So I'm going to change this to 60. And now when you hit on play, your animation plays the same way as the 24 frames. Okay, so that's one way to do it. Now, a second way is, I'm going to use this scene. So I have this short scene here where you have my character punching the hell out of the male character here. By the way, this is AY multi-character version 2.0. So I tried changing the frame rate from 24 frames to 60 frames and I realized that nothing was happening. Okay, so this is not working for this particular shot. So what I did was rendered out. I'm just going to go to a new scene. Video editing, and I'm going to import my image sequence that was rendered out. So image sequence, that should be on my desktop, shot 6. Hold down shift, select all. Now as you can see from my image sequence, this is playing in reverse. So I can just easily correct that by checking on reverse time frame. And I want to reduce the timeline here. So this is what my animation looks like at 24 frames. Okay, so if I change these 24 frames to 60 frames, see what happens. The animation is very fast and that has already changed the speed of the animation and I don't want to change my speed. Okay, so to fix this, if I try to use the time stretch like we did in the previous example, making this 24 and making the new one 60, you can see that still did not correct the whole thing. So let's just go back to 100 and then take this back to 24. Now this is my normal speed. So I came up with this formula that can help out in fixing this, and that is converting this first to a meta strip. So to do so, just come to strip here and meta strip. You can also use the short command Ctrl G to do so. Now I can see that I have 24 frames for this particular animation. Okay, so it ends on the 29th frame. I have 29 frames for this animation. So if my animation would take 29 frames to play at the normal speed that I want it to play for 24 frames per second, how many frames would it require to play at 60 frames per second? I can easily get that with this simple mathematical formula by just multiplying 60 by 29 and then dividing that result by 24, and that should give me 72.5. So I'm going to go with 72 frames. So now I'm just going to come to time here. So show remapping. So show retiming keys, and I'm going to stretch this to 72. So I'm just 72. Stretch this to 72, and okay, I also want to make this 72 as well. Now when I play my animation, you can see it's very slow. That's because I'm using an equivalent of 72 frames that should be for 60 frames for 24 frames. That's why it's very slow. So I just need to change this now to 60 frames, and that solves the problem. So hit on the play button and see your animation play in the normal speed with a new frame rate, which is 60 frames per second. So the advantages of having a larger frame rate is when you decide to slow down your animation as an effect, it's going to give you a smoother result compared to slowing your animation down on a frame rate of 24 frames. So I hope you've learned one or two things from this video. This is what I'm going to call it a wrap. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe to our channel, Levonotion Studios, if you've not done so. And until next time, keep your creativity blending.